Your former head coach, Brad Childress, joined 9 to noon yesterday. And unprompted, after chatting with him about the Kevin Calm and offense and how's Andy Reid, how's Big Red, stuff like that, I think I said goodbye, and then he's like, whoa, hold on for a second. And have a great day, okay?
Yeah, Paul, one more thing.
Yeah.
I know you've got the guy that coined the word schism there with you, Ben Leber, from his Mark Hart word power. I believe he's the guy that came up with the schism term. I don't know if he ever stepped underneath that and owned up to that, but you can speak to him later about what exactly a schism is.
Well, it was unprompted. I don't know about your Mark Hart word power. I don't even know what Mark Hart word power means. But clearly that was on Brad's mind. So define the word schism. Did you use the word schism that I'm not remembering from back in the day? What are we talking about here?
All right. I mean, I suppose if we're gonna, I didn't know he said that. You're getting a real raw answer from me. If he wants to have a real private conversation with me and talk about this, I would absolutely have a conversation about it and let him know that I have no idea what in the hell he's talking about. I'm being honest with you. Brad and I started off great. I think there's been some misinformation on his part about my role and what happened at the end of his Vikings tenure that I think he's grossly and irresponsibly unaware of and misconstruing. I never used the word schism. I never invented the word schism.
Right.
If I ever repeated schism, it was because it made the freaking headlines about the way that the locker room was, not from me.
Do you remember what year?
I think this was the year that
should have been 2010.
I think it was the year that he was fired mid-season.
Right.
So if he thinks all this time in 2021 that I'm responsible for the word schism being used, he is absolutely wrong, 100% wrong.
Right.
And there were some things that happened in that locker room that it still pisses me off that he thinks that I was responsible for, i.e. the Randy Moss situation. He told us in a team meeting that he was letting Randy Moss go. Okay? This was, I believe, a Monday. Everybody at the media, because it's like a half day or whatever, the locker room had cleared out. I was handing out flyers for a charity event. I don't know if it was like happening that Tuesday or later that week or maybe the next week. So I'm walking around the locker room, putting flyers on everybody's chairs, okay? Not knowing that the media was coming in because the locker room was empty. I'm not paying attention to what the media hours are.
Yeah.
I turn around and I was at my locker and there's I don't know, 8 to 10 media people that all surround me. And they ask me, they say, "Hey, is it true that Randy Moss is no longer on the team?" And blah, blah, blah. And I go, "Yeah, I guess it is. If you guys know it is, if you guys know that he's gone, then I guess it's public knowledge."
Right.
Well, I come to find out that the PR guys had told a bunch of the other players, like, "Hey, media's coming in. You guys need to hightail it out of here." So there's a whole group of veteran guys hanging out in the training room because they didn't want to talk to the media. I didn't know that. I was just handing out flyers for a charity event.
Right.
So then I get home, and all over Pro Football Talk, the headline is Ben Leber confirms the Randy Moss situation. I'm like,
that's awful.
So
When I thought the missed field goal was awful, we get into this.
So then I call Brad and I say, "Hey, I didn't break this story." And he was like, you could tell by his tone, he didn't believe me for 1 second.
Whoa.
He's like, "Okay,
So Ben's starting his media career while he's playing.
And I'm like, so then I talk to Hagan. I go, "Hagan, what is happening here? Like, I'm being bombarded with this idea that I confirmed the whatever." I go, he goes, "I know what happened. I know exactly what happened." He just said, "Trust me, there's bigger things going on right now that he's got to deal with. I don't think that he cares about that."
Right.
And then later, come to find out that, ownership was pissed and all this other stuff happened or whatever. So if he wants to come out unprompted and talk to Leber about the schism, all right, Brad, let's have a freaking conversation about it.
Do you have his phone number?
No.
Yeah, well,
No.
you will when the segment's over.
I mean, when
So you
he,
can chat about it privately.
Yeah, let's talk
If
about
you're
it privately.
interested.
I mean, at this point, like I want nothing to do with the guy, and I don't know where it went off the rails. But if he's harboring this thing for this long,
Yeah.
and he thinks I'm somewhat responsible for this word schism, which has like trailed him this whole time, then maybe we should have a conversation. But I'm going to clear it. I'm going to clear it right now that I had nothing to do with the word schism. I don't know what reporter first reported that. I don't know who was out there talking. I didn't have insider. I wasn't feeding the media information. We have some ideas on who was in that locker room, but it was never me. And if he thinks it was me, he is 100% wrong.
Hey, okay. Now, are you mad at Nordo or I for not telling you this was coming before it came?
No.
Okay, well, we were just doing friendship checks and we're on the outs.
Yeah.
So now we're going to move on to the next letter. So it's good to know that everything was good there.
I thought this was going to elicit like a few laughs and maybe just, a little hearkening back to the good old days.
Yeah, I mean, I've had that Leber stare at me 2 times in my life. I never want it again because now I'm sitting here thinking, wow, because I always, I'll send Ben information on if something's going to be different or weird or like that. And I didn't yesterday, so I apologize.
Took a turn.
No,
We should have
you
let
have
you-
a lot of things going on in your plate that you didn't need to like tell me that that was going on.
Right. Well, Nordo has nothing, so he potentially should have done it. I'm playing with you. Joining us now is the sideline
real
analyst
quick.
for Golden Gophers football and producer of Bumper to Bumper, JG.
I don't mean to jump in real quick.
Justin Ryan Dungy.
I met him in there.
Oh, cool.
Yeah, thank you.
What's up, bud?
Just want to let you know that on Monday, Ben, we're going to have some Andre Patterson audio responding to you.
No, I heard that live.
Okay.
Yeah. And I'm fine with that.
I just wanted to make sure we knew we were going to play that on Monday.
And I can respond.
Brilliant.
And I can respond to that too.
Okay, that's good.
Well,
All right, I gotta go.
Since that was public, hold on. Maybe some Steve Spagnuolo sound that nobody's ever heard from that ill-fated year in St. Louis.
Just keep digging.
I also have some Bill Schneider sound from when you guys lost to Oklahoma one year.
You're great.
That we need to get to.
Your squad wins this weekend. Do you agree?
I think so. I hope so.
Yeah, I mean,
I hope they throw more than 13 passes.
If you want to drive south on 35, it looks so obvious, like one side's going to win and the other side sucks and what just happened. Generally speaking, 88% of the time, it goes the other way. Thanks for stopping by. Well, I think 9 to noon for sure has established itself, unlike, and this was very important to us, unlike Fox News Channel or CNN, we like to give both sides of the story. So therefore, we had one side yesterday. We presented the other side today. So nobody thinks 9 to noon is playing favorites. And your response was straight from your heart. And for that, we thank you.
Yeah, you're welcome. You're welcome.
So